Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newpol and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah. Well, hello, dummies, and welcome to episode number 116 of the stupidest sports show on earth. My name, as you all know, is Tim All Day Van Stratton, joined by Rodney Newpol on a gorgeous Friday morning. We are loving the pound of snow that we got.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, love it. And you mentioned the high of 7. I'm not on Sunday. I'm not sure it'll get to 7. I'll take the under on that one. Negative 20 to 30 wind chills. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun on Sunday. Stay in the house. But good morning, everyone. And episode 116 already. 116. And we got lots to talk about today, including getting to your lukewarm hot stove league.
Yes, the MLB lukewarm stove. The winter meetings, I believe, are finally done officially.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. I got some thoughts there. I was going to ask you real quick, though, Rodney. So this Sunday, where it's going to be well into the negatives when you factor in wind chill, there is going to be football played. And, I'm sure it's like this for other states, too, but the Bears have a game Sunday hosting the Cleveland Browns. If you are a diehard Chicago Bears fan, like you love the Bears more than anything, and they're having a good season. They're right in the thick of things for the NFC North. Is there a universe where you even consider going to Soldier Field, standing? And because keep in mind, you're not playing football. You're watching football at that game. It's one thing to play in it. It's another thing to just watch it. But is there a universe where you even consider going to Soldier Field and just watching the Bears host the Browns in what probably will be like negative teens weather?
Yeah, negative 20 to 30 wind chill at Soldier Field for kickoff time. Absolutely in no way would I be going to this game. I always say, like, the NFL for me is like September or before if I'm going to a game, and that's about it. Because if I can't wear shorts, I'm not going, right? And so, like, I'm not wearing shorts of this one. Like, I would literally lose my legs. I'm not going. I don't care how much I love the Bears. I'm watching it on NFL Network or Red Zone or Sunday Ticket or at the local bar. There's lots of opportunities. Not at Soldier Field. No chance.
No. I'm seeing if there's any other places on the NFL Week 15 slate that are expected to be brutally cold. Ravens-Bengals in Cincinnati. I see like 11 degrees there in Cincinnati. So that's one that's going to be miserable. Obviously, Browns-Bears is going to be awful. The good news is that's really it. Like, a lot of the teams that are hosting games, it's like Seattle, Denver. I mean, Denver can get cold. San Francisco, New Orleans, the Rams, the Cowboys, Steelers Monday night probably will get a little chilly. But, that Bears one in particular is just like there's nothing that could convince me to go to that football game.
I would guess Monday night it would get really cold, because if Chicago is getting that on Sunday afternoon, Pittsburgh is going to probably get it by Monday. So it's in Miami. Miami gets to do that one. Miami on the road. Remember the years ago when Tyreek Hill tried to play in like super cold weather, and he like literally had like 9 layers, and he was like shaking on the sideline. He's not playing this one, but Miami in the cold. That'll be fun.
All right. So, Rodney, per usual, you planned today's show, so I'm going to let you sort of drive it here. What did you want to talk about as we head into another great sports weekend?
Yeah. Well, we can talk about last night's game. Obviously, the Carolina Panthers were the big winners. Wait, didn't even play last night. But Tampa Bay losing made it a big night for Carolina in the NFL. We'll talk a little bit about the college football playoff later. We'll talk about Phillip Rivers later and then get to your lukewarm stove league. Best bets for betting and all that later. But Carolina Panthers now lead the division. They lead the division because Tampa Bay blew a 2-touchdown lead in the final quarter of last night's game to a 4-9 Atlanta Falcons team. Unbelievable. I was saying as the fourth quarter was going, like, I'm not sure Raheem Morris will last after that game. Now, I don't know as if Todd Bowles should last after that game. And I'll be honest, I'm not sure either of those coaches is getting what they should be getting out of their team. I don't know as if I want to come out and all out fire them right now, but they probably should look at reconsidering who the head coach is of both those organizations. Now, obviously the elephant in the room here on those two guys is the Rooney Rule. But, like, they're not getting the job done. Todd Bowles is not getting the job done in Tampa. Like, if they lose that division, I think he's got to go. He's got to go. And then Raheem Morris, 6 years as a head coach, 3 in Atlanta. He was 3 in Tampa, never made the playoffs. Like, at some point, when do these guys quit getting head jobs?
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit the other day with Tampa Bay in particular. Like, there is no reason that we should be sitting here in December talking about whether the Tampa Bay Buccaneers might not win the division. This was absolutely theirs on a silver platter. It shouldn't have even been close because you knew that New Orleans was going to be bad. Even if Carolina improved, which clearly they have, like, Carolina still wasn't going to be a 11 or 12 win team. And then Atlanta, we're like figured, okay, they're going to be somewhat disappointing, and like everything else lined up. And Tampa Bay started the year like pretty good.
Yeah,
I was like, all right, it like they've had, they had a good win in hindsight, like a good win at Houston, good win at Seattle. They beat the 49ers, but in the last, 8 games? So in the last 8 games, destroyed by the Lions. They did beat the Saints in New Orleans. Lose at home to the Patriots. Lose by double figures at Buffalo. Get crushed by the Rams on Sunday Night Football. Squeak past the Cardinals by 3 points. Lose at home to the Saints. Lose at home to the Falcons. So that's 2-6 in their last 8 games. And most of those losses, you were pretty non-competitive.
Yeah, non-competitive. I mean, but we continue to talk each year and each week, or as they struggle, about Bulls and his lack of emotion and his just like overall.
Well, you talk about that more than anyone, about how Todd Bowles never emotes whatsoever on the side.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I've never seen it. I've never seen anything more than just a stoic look on the sideline. I don't know. Like, I don't need my head coach jumping up and down on the sideline all the time, but I need a little emotion here. I need a little excitement. I think the guys do play off that a little bit. I need a little Mike Evans late in that game off it. Did you see Mike Evans ticked off?
Yeah.
But let's have a conversation real quick about Baker Mayfield. The game last night is probably on him, right? Like, you can't throw an interception there. You can't do that. You can't throw an interception there. You have to milk the clock. You have to take care of the ball. You get another first down or two, this game's over. That's a bad play. Now, we love to hype up Baker Mayfield. And Baker Mayfield's been good, had a good career. I mean, I love his story, but we probably ought to call that one out. That was not a good throw, not a good play from Baker.
No. 5 of his 7 interceptions on the year have come in the last 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's when they have needed him the most is when he sort of dropped the ball a little bit. Like, he's not, like, this QBR 3 of the last 4 games has been in the 40s. Like, he's been not particularly sharp. But it also like, remember, once upon a time, it was 5-6 weeks in, and we were like, hey, Baker Mayfield might actually be a legitimate MVP candidate.
Right.
Well, I think that we confirmed that he was valuable, because you could see when Baker Mayfield is not playing at a high level, the team suffers for it.
Yeah, they're not that good. Although they have 3 really solid receivers, that team's just not all that good. It used to be a good defense. Now it's not a good defense. I don't know what to think of that.
Yeah.
Of that team. On the other side, because go ahead.
No, well, I was going to say with Tampa Bay, like the good news is that division is so bad. Like it's going to be a while before New Orleans is good. Like Atlanta might have to do a pretty significant reset here. Really, your competition's Carolina.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Panthers are good. Like
I don't either.
Panthers could clinch the division as early as week 16, and I have no idea if they're a good football team.
Yeah, no, I don't either. It'll be interesting to see, and we'll get to best bets for betting later. But I have a thought on Carolina's game this week that we'll get to. But on the other side, I don't want to spend too long on this Thursday night game because it was a good game, but like neither of these teams are making any noise this year. So, but Kirk Cousins was pretty good last night. Was pretty good, and then Kyle Pitts, first time in his career, he finally paid off for fantasy owners. Probably first time in his career. It was the first time in years he had over 100 yards. He ended up with 3 touchdown receptions last night. So
fun
one. But Kirk Cousins and Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, so I did see this tweet yesterday. I'm just going to go ahead and run with it. I hope that it's accurate. I'm going to trust whoever said it, and I apologize for not knowing. But Kyle Pitts last night, like his numbers accounted for 7% of his career fantasy points through almost 4 full seasons in the league.
Yeah. And ironically, it comes on most of your league's playoff first round. So, yeah, as you mentioned last night, dude's probably sitting him.
Yeah. Well, in my matchup, so I'm in my final week in one league before the playoffs. It's only 14 playoffs, so it's like one extra regular season week. The team that I'm facing has to win, and they've had Kyle Pitts. They've rode Kyle Pitts. I remember them relying on Kyle Pitts earlier in the year. Didn't play him, and I knew that I was going up against Kyle Pitts this week until I checked the matchup and saw, oh, thank God. He finally gave up on Kyle Pitts and had him on his bench and had like Dalton Kincaid sitting in his tight end spot instead.
Well, that's crazy you say that because I'm not necessarily patting myself on the back as a genius fantasy owner here, but like I did the exact opposite. I actually dropped Dalton Kincaid and I picked up Kyle Pitts, who was available for this week. So in one of my leagues, I'm the 8th seed out of it's a 12-team league. I made the playoffs as the 8th seed. Really tied for like 5th, but playoff points obviously moved me to 8th. So I'm playing the 1 seed. I played Kyle Pitts. I have a good chance of upsetting the number 1 seed because of that play. And I don't really, in true typical Rodney fantasy and all things sports fashion, I don't really know why. Like I think I was tired of seeing Dalton Kincaid share with Dawson Knox.
Yeah.
Right? Like, is it going to be Dalton Kincaid? Is it going to be Dawson Knox? It might be both of them. It might be neither of them. It might be a little of both. I'm like, Kyle Pitts, he's available. Let's play him. So anyway, that's kind of how my fantasy football season and career goes. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. We could rehash the Christian McCaffrey story if you want.
Oh, about you getting Christian McCaffrey like 8th overall?
Yeah. No, we don't necessarily need to go over that one. But that
it also
point is sometimes it falls into your lap.
Yeah, well, the big reason for that story too is because everyone passed on McCaffrey because he was injury prone.
Yeah,
which okay, well, you say that, but he also missed a significant chunk of last season with injury.
Yeah, but 2023
he did not. Yeah, he did not.
Anyways, all right, let's move on here. So yesterday or Tuesday we talked about, I think it was Phillip Rivers. Really? Mm-hmm. Now it's going to be, so as the kids would say, actually, Phillip Rivers supposedly he's going to play. Like, not just be on the roster. He's going to play. What you're watching the Colts on Sunday. What do you expect from Phillip Rivers?
I don't even what should I expect? I've seen one clip of Phillip Rivers. I've seen one clip of Phillip Rivers in practice throwing a ball to the sideline that I think hung in the air for about 4 seconds.
Yeah.
I think anything that Phillip Rivers throws is going to be around the line of scrimmage. I don't think that you're going to see him just throw it deep. He has not thrown NFL passes for 5 years. He's 44 years old. He's a literal grandfather. I would suggest probably staying away from all of Indianapolis's deep threats if you, which I know you are, going to have a lineup with Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, 100%. But saying that, like, that sounds like Jonathan Taylor more PPR.
Yeah. I think Jonathan Taylor's a great candidate, even if they know that they're going to try to run the football a bunch and that they're going to get down against Seattle. Yeah, I mean, Jonathan Taylor is going to be the security blanket. Absolutely.
Phillip Rivers, 4,900 on DraftKings this week.
That's too much. I'm sorry. That's too much money for a guy who is 44 years old and who's been retired for 5 years. Now, like, that's too much. He should be under 4,000 for DraftKings standards. He should be under $4,000.
He should be free. Just play him. Just play him for free, and
Here you go. Here's your free square. Just put Phillip Rivers in there. I mean, good luck. Like, if Phillip Rivers was free, if he was free, it cost $0, and you had the same amount of money to fill out the rest of your lineup, would you still be able to cash? Because keep in mind, while you still have some good players elsewhere, Phillip Rivers would be your quarterback.
Yeah. Phillip Rivers would be your quarterback. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, Phillip Rivers is 4,900 at Seattle. Seattle's not a great place to start the restart the career.
Two touchdown underdog.
Yeah, not great. But he's actually going to play. Let's move back to college football here. Notre Dame's still complaining. They're still bitching and moaning. They're still whining. Their AD is still having press conferences. He's still going on interview shows. Notre Dame's still complaining. I said this Tuesday. I'll say it again. It really comes down to the fact they're not in a conference. They're in a conference. Mm-hmm. They're in the college football playoff. They're not in a conference. They want their cake and eat it too. Now we're talking about other programs freezing them out, which I don't think is a bad idea. All right. You don't have anybody to play in 27, 28, 29, 30. You don't have anybody to play. We're not playing you. And honestly, I've heard the conversation quite a bit. And Colin Cowherd talks about this. Being a USC guy, he talks about this quite a bit. And Notre Dame wants that USC rivalry back. They want to play USC. But if you're USC, why? Why do you play that game? You're already going to play, and I don't know what the exact story will be each year, but you're already going to play Michigan, Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana, even Illinois, who's a fringe contender at this point. Like 2 years in a row. You don't need USC.
Yeah.
And Notre Dame needs, or you don't need Notre Dame. Notre Dame needs USC. Notre Dame played 5 ACC schools, a conference that barely got a team in, and only one of them was really any good. And so I don't know, like I like the freeze out. Like Notre Dame needs to get to a point where they have to consider doing something, whether it's going to Big Ten, whether it's going full out with the ACC. But my point is Notre Dame still complaining. Your thoughts on Notre Dame and their continual complaints?
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think a lot of the complaining right now is it's lip service and it's giving the fan base, a very angry fan base. And you could argue that like it's justified anger, but nevertheless, like it's an angry fan base that just wants to hear their AD and everyone else talk about how much of an outrage and a disgrace it is. Like ultimately it's not going to change anything, but it's natural. It's like it's Rodney, like let's say you're watching a Blues game and there's a call on the ice that the Blues score, but then the refs say, oh no, actually they didn't, but then like the replay shows like later on clearly they did, but they for whatever reason didn't call it, and then you find out that night it's like, oh, turns out they got it wrong, it should have been a goal, but it's not like they awarded the goal and they like continued the game. Like no, the Blues lost the game. That's kind of what this feels like with Notre Dame. It's like it's not really going to make you feel better. And I think a lot of what Bavakwa is doing now is what he should have been doing earlier, and kind of just campaigning for Notre Dame and making the case beforehand, as opposed to what he's doing now, which is just complaining and just making Notre Dame look like sour grapes. Because Miami, on the other side, like Miami was actively campaigning before the committee announced and trying to prove over and over the case that like Miami should be in the playoff, and it worked. It worked. So I think Notre Dame is just, it's too little too late, and it's just, all it is just trying to make an angry fan base feel a little bit better. It's probably not working.
Yeah, and that's one of the complaints Bavakwa's had, is that Miami and the ACC was campaigning against them. It's like, there's nothing wrong with that. Notre Dame. So my point kind of is like Bavakwa and even Marcus Freeman and his staff saying they were blindsided. Like, were you actually blindsided? Like, we knew this was a possibility. We knew the committee had the history of changing things. We knew you were on the border. We knew there was a discussion whether you were going to be in or not. Just because Alabama lost, if they thought that was their in, I think they're completely at fault here, and they're the ones that should be blaming themselves. But anyways, Notre Dame's still complaining. What we are a week away from the college football playoff games next Friday, I believe, or next Saturday, one of the two. We'll get to those next week. We'll give our picks for maybe the entire college football playoff, our actual picks. But let's spend some time with Major League Baseball. It is the lukewarm stove league going on right now. It's been 15, 20 minutes here if we have that long, if we have that much work to do. Before we get to our best bets for betting, what are your initial thoughts on the we'll call it the hot stove league, because that's what it is. What's your thoughts here?
I'm about done with the winter meetings.
Well, they're done, so that's good.
Well, okay, well, yes, that's true. So thank goodness. No, but like the concept of there being a winter meetings and people acting like this is where all of the big moves happen, it feels like it's truly been years since the winter meetings actually resulted in massive moves. Yeah. Okay, so like in my opinion, this is a pretty decent free agent class. Like, there's a lot of really high quality players. Conversely, there's a lot of players that are on the trade block or the rumored trade block. Like, there's the potential to be a lot of moves, but all we got out of this hot stove, or out of these winter meetings, if I'm not mistaken. So we had Kyle Schwarber re-signing with his own team. We had Pete Alonso signing with the Orioles.
Yes.
And what was the other? Was there any other? I feel like there was one more move that was.
Would you say Edwin Diaz?
Edwin Diaz, yeah. Edwin Diaz joining the long list of traitors and cowards and signing with the Dodgers. Like, that was it. Winter meetings. Like, winter meetings, we used to get, Garrett Cole signs with the Yankees. It was Albert Pujols signs with the Angels. Like, it was like, it was actual moves. And for the last few years, it feels like it's just nothing. Like, all it is just Scott Boras doing press conferences around a scrum of people, him doing little cheeky puns about who's interested in who, and like, it's all bullshit. It's all nonsense. And I think it perfectly summarizes the MLB offseason as a whole, because every other sport, their free agency is like 3 days. It's awesome. There's a flurry of moves. You get in and you get out, and that's it. Baseball's offseason drags on for months. Yeah. And what's supposed to be the big period where all of the front office executives are together and all the moves happen, they don't happen anymore. They don't happen. And like, there is no reason that players like Kyle Tucker and Cody Bellinger and Framber Valdez and all of these like really high quality free agents are going to still be unsigned come January, whatever, 3 months after the season ended. It's so ridiculous. And you could make an argument that teams are scared of spending money because of the impending lockout, like whatever it is. But the baseball offseason by far and away is the worst. I used to love it, but like, I feel like more and more it's just dead. It's dead. Yeah. And maybe you get a decent signing every week or 10 days, but like, that's not how it should be. That's really not. Like, I would be totally fine if they had if they were able to create their own version of July 1st, right? Like the day where it's just like, oh shit, just is bananas, everyone is signing. And it's like you make that December 1st for baseball, and it's like that's the day where
Or
everything happens.
should we move the winter meetings back to January?
But like what I'm saying is that by January, I think all of these guys should be signed.
Yeah.
Why is it that bona fide great players are unsigned in a league that doesn't have a salary cap, mind you? Like, so there's no salary restrictions for these teams to, in theory, go after them. So like, why is it that they are unsigned in January, months after the season ends, when they're, by all accounts, great players? Like, Roddy, Bryce Harper and Manny Machado, years back, were free agents in spring training.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper had his press conference at Philly's spring training because it was the beginning of March.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I guess I'm just trying to figure out how we fix that. So what you would like is but you can't require you can't require them be signed, or I guess you could, but
no, but like, so why is it then that, in baseball or in NFL and NBA and NHL, all three of those sports, they have free agency opens that day, and that day we see signings galore.
Well, some of them start at midnight.
Right. Like we see signings instantly.
Yeah.
And honestly, maybe the fact that baseball isn't a salary cap sport hurts them in that regard. Because, like with the other sports, it's like, okay, you have a minimum that you have to spend. So, so like NBA, like, oh yeah, okay, the Memphis Grizzlies and the Orlando Magic or whoever else, like, yeah, they have some money to spend, so we know they're going to spend it. NFL this last year, the New England Patriots had $80-something million in cap space. Okay, yeah, we know for sure they're going to spend it, and then they're going to be aggressive. So, like, there are going to be moves here. Baseball doesn't have that. Like, everyone is too afraid to spend money, so then that only leaves, like, the big clubs to spend. Like, whatever you want to put it, I don't know. But, like, dragging out the MLB offseason for months is just I'm so over it.
Yeah. I was hoping personally to get some trades. I was hoping to get a Wilson Contreras sent out during the winter meetings.
We always get rumors. We get a ton of rumors. We get so many rumors about listening and offers on this guy, and this team's interested here and blah. But it's like, it's just like nothing ever happens from it. Like there's only been a few really noteworthy moves the entire offseason. You can probably count on one hand the amount of truly impactful moves that have happened so far this MLB offseason, and it's December 12th.
Yeah. Do we think we'll see anything else between now and New Year that'll be significant at all?
Between now and New Year? I mean, I would imagine. But like, the fact that we don't know when, that it could be tomorrow, it could be in 2 weeks. Like, that's sort of the point. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, what's the point then? What's the point of holding a winter meetings and having Scott Boras, tell his buddy John Heyman, hey, why don't you go ahead and say, oh, all these teams are suitors for Cody Bellinger right now, when Cody Bellinger might not sign until Christmas?
Yeah.
What's the point then of doing these rumors now?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I hate the wait too, and the drama and the off season of it. But I guess I'm just trying to figure out a way they can fix it. And I mean, without the salary cap, I'm not sure they do fix it. And I don't know if Major League Baseball wants to fix it.
Well, no, the way to fix it, if there is no salary floor or salary cap, the way to fix it is that, you have free agency start on a specific day and end on a specific day. And then it's just like those are your major league level signings, and everything else after that is minor league contracts or whatever. Like,
yeah. It puts the pressure on them to get it done. That's for sure. I don't think that's going to happen though. No, it wouldn't. But like every other sport can have an entertaining off season that has all the, like, okay,
simple question here. Should there be any reason in any sport for superstars to be the last ones signed?
No.
So why is that the case?
No, but the first question is no. They should not be the last ones to be signed.
No. Everyone should be rushing to sign the best players because they're the best players. There's no reason why Kyle Tucker could be a free agent into January.
No reason. Yeah. Anyways, anything else on the Major League Baseball boring league?
on the MLB lukewarm stove. I mean, I would love to get your thoughts on a couple of the moves that would happen. Yeah. Like Pete Alonso in Baltimore, I think is super interesting. A lot of people, I think, naturally are going to say, "Oh man, that contract's going to age poorly." And to be honest, like the guy's in his 30s.
Yeah.
By year 4 or 5, it might. But one, I can guarantee it's going to work out better than Chris Davis did for them.
Yes.
Because any contract will work out better than Chris Davis. And B, that lineup is pretty damn good. That's a really, really good lineup now with Pete Alonso in it. So, that's some incredible run support. That division now looks really, really tough. So I'm intrigued by that. And I love a team like Baltimore saying, "Hey, we need a first baseman. This first baseman's available. Let's make a move." Because that's the only way we're going to be able to compete with a team in our division. Well, first of all, the Yankees and Red Sox, but also a team in the Blue Jays that was 1 or 2 outs away from winning the World Series. So, I'm glad that they did that.
No, I like the move as well. And I really thought on the other side, my hope was the domino effect of losing Edwin Diaz and Pete Alonso would cause the Mets to panic and just instantly start spending or trading. We need to get a replacement in. We need to spend this money that we're not spending on Pete, and they probably still will. I was hoping the winter meetings were going to be that, a guy like Wilson Contreras was being floated around, and he probably still is. But these GMs take forever to make these trades. What are you waiting for? What's the do you think they're going to come back with a better offer? I don't know. But anyways,
no.
I like the move. I in Baltimore, but obviously things are going to change. But if the season started tomorrow, aren't they still probably 3rd or 4th in the division?
Yeah, because of pitching.
Yeah.
Because of pitching, but also Rodney, last year going into the year, what were we saying about the Blue Jays? Did we think that the Blue Jays were going to be competitive? I mean, they were a last place team in 2024.
No, you're right, and things can change very quickly there. But I don't know. I'm just interested to see. But I thought it was a good move for Baltimore. Edwin Diaz and Dodgers. I don't think we even need to discuss that one.
So I mean, I'm fully expecting Tarik Skubal to be a Los Angeles Dodger before the season starts.
Yeah, but if not, Detroit needs to give him as much help as possible.
So one of the rumors, and again, we're talking about the bullshit rumors, but one of the rumors is that Tyler Glasnow would be one of the pitchers going to Detroit in a potential deal for Tarik Skubal. So Tyler Glasnow, what's his contract with the Dodgers? Isn't he making around $30 million?
I'll look it up. Yeah.
Yeah. So look at what Tyler Glasnow is making, and then compare it to what an extension for Tarik Skubal would be. So what I don't understand then is the logic of you take on Glasnow and that contract just because you don't want to give an extension to Skubal. By all indications, if the Tigers offered a fair extension to Skubal, he would accept. It's not like he's dying to get out of Detroit. He's been great. He's won 2 Cy Youngs. They've gone to the playoffs twice with him. That they've shown a willingness to make moves when needed. They got a good manager.
Right.
It's not like a Pittsburgh. It's not like Skeens in Pittsburgh where it's just like everyone knows, like, oh, he doesn't want to be there. Like this is Scooble, and I think that they could keep him. But like just trading him, and then because you don't want to pay a potential extension, but being okay with accepting someone like Tyler Glasnow is ridiculous.
Yeah, Glasnow signed. It's pretty slow this morning, but he signed a 5-year. What does it say? 132 million.
Okay, so that's 27 million, 26, 27 million, something around there. And Scooble's probably what? 35.
So Glasnow's
40?
2026 payroll will be 32 and a half.
Okay. So 32 and a half, where Scooble is probably like between 35 and 40.
Right.
So okay. So that's saving like let's call it like $6 million.
Yeah.
Is the difference per year.
That's it. Yeah.
And you're even thinking about trading your franchise guy.
Yeah, because you're not going to get that production out of Tyler Glasnow. I'm looking at Tarek Skubal now. I mean, so obviously he's going to demand a big.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so it's 1 year left, and the Tigers are definitely afraid of losing him for nothing in free agency. But like, why aren't you giving him an offer? I think the initial report was that their first offer to him was like 4 years, $100 million.
Yeah,
which is laughably bad.
Glasnow is 31 years old now too. He'll be 32 when we start the season.
Yeah, and that was just one of the rumors that like Glasnow would be in the deal because like the Dodgers already have this isn't news. Like they already have a shit ton of starting pitchers.
Yeah, they do.
And like it's like they wouldn't have Glasnow become a long reliever. Like they still want like 5 pitchers, and that includes Ohtani in this scenario. So like they would probably have to get rid of someone, whether it's Sasaki, but like they weren't even using Roki Sasaki as a starter. Like he became their closer, which I guess they're not going to keep him as a closer because they just signed Edwin Diaz.
Diaz. Yeah.
I don't know. Real quick, I wanted to talk about the Mets. Like I know we mentioned the Pete Alonso side, but okay, so the New York Mets, they have a pretty seismic collapse last season, which is par for the course with them.
Yeah.
Missed out on the playoffs altogether to the Cincinnati Reds of all teams. This offseason, they've swapped out Brandon Nimmo for Marcus Semien. They lost Pete Alonso, and they've swapped out essentially Edwin Diaz for our boy Devin Williams.
Devin.
And like looking at this Mets team, I'm not very impressed with the lineup here. So you have Lindor, Semien, Soto as your 1, 2, 3 in the lineup as of today. That's pretty good. But then after that, I want you to tell me if this is a team that you are scared of. So Mark Vientos, Jeff McNeil, Francisco Alvarez, Brett Beatty, Ronnie Mauricio, Tyrone Taylor.
No.
That's their current projected starting lineup.
No, not. And now Schwarber's back with the Phillies. Braves are going to be better.
Braves have made some moves. Yeah, that's another.
Even Miami played decent late in the year.
Yeah. I like Mets to me right now in that division are I would say a distant third at best.
Yeah,
behind Philadelphia and Atlanta.
I mean, but they're going to make moves, right? Like that's a team we're going to see make moves. Like,
well,
maybe Contreras goes there.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say the Alonso leaving, trading Nimmo, sort of opens the door wide open to a seismic overpay for Cody Bellinger for them. Yeah. Because Cody Bellinger can play outfield, he can play first base, and he also accomplishes something that over the last few years of the Steve Cohen era is very important, which is signing former Yankees.
Right.
Like there's nothing that the Steve Cohen Mets love more than taking guys from the Yankees.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it makes a lot of sense. A lot of like way overpay, or are they going after Kyle Tucker?
Well, that's the other thing too. Like they could make that move as well, but like Bellinger, because he can play first base, makes some sense here. But yeah, like absolutely. Kyle Tucker is an overpay. I mean, all these guys you could make an argument for overpay, but like
Yeah.
a lot of them are worth it. And I guess it depends on the Mets. Like if the Mets feel like they can win a World Series right now, like Kyle Tucker is probably the all-in move. If they're like, okay, well, we might need to over the course of the next year or two build things back up, then probably it's Cody Bellinger. But like one of those two guys, they probably should be going after pretty hard.
There was talks that the Chicago Cubs had conversations with Pete Alonso.
Is that right? I also saw that the Cubs had been the ones to offer Devin Williams the most money.
He didn't want to go back to the National League Central?
I guess not. Yeah, I guess you wanted to stay in New York, but yeah. So like the Cubs are seemingly in the conversation with a lot of these guys, but I don't think they've really made any significant moves, huh?
No, they haven't. But
and I tell you what, for really going all out last offseason and making this Kyle Tucker trade, I have not heard Kyle Tucker re-signing in Chicago once.
Not once.
No one is even talking about it being a possibility.
No,
have we all just agreed that like, okay, that was a 1-year thing and it's over?
It's so weird too, right? Like why not even entertain the idea? Makes no sense.
I mean, like the good news is because of Pete Crow Armstrong and Ian Happ having a good year, they're probably looking at their outfield and be like, okay, we don't need to have Kyle Tucker, but like that was by far and away the most aggressive move that they made in the Jed Hoyer era. Mm-hmm. It was like, hey, this is us going for it here, and they're just like, okay, see ya.
Yeah,
like, there's no and no, normally it's like, hey, we're talking to Kyle, we're interested in bringing him back, but it's just blah blah blah. But it feels like everyone is just like, all right, he gone,
right.
and they're fine with it, and they're totally cool with it. It's weird.
All right, let's get to our best bets for betting here. We'll talk more baseball throughout the winter. We're gonna have plenty of time here to get to more baseball. Let's get to our best bets for betting. That way we can get it taken care of and make sure they get out there. So best bets for betting, a reminder that you are ahead by one game. You are 38-37. I am 37-38 due to your strong week last week and my very poor week. So I am just going to go out there and say right now, all 5 of my games are Sunday NFL. I am ignoring the existence of tonight. Although I see one of your picks on here, and I'm reconsidering. Now, and then I'm ignoring tomorrow's existence as well. Although there are plenty of good games: college basketball, NBA, NHL. But I'm going to go all Sunday in the National Football League. All right, I'm going to start us with. Okay, I'm going to start us with the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills on the road.
Huckleberry.
Yes, I'm their Huckleberry. So Patriots won the first matchup. Now they're in Foxborough. I'm not worried about it being cold in Foxborough. It's cold enough in Buffalo. Buffalo's still the better team to me. I'm going to take the Bills minus 1.5. I'll take the Bills.
Are they better team or is it just Josh Allen?
Yeah. Josh Allen.
Okay. Yeah. Good. All right. I am going with a game Friday night. It's an NHL game. I've done the Blues over once before where I looked and said, why is it only 5.5 goals? And I'm doing it again tonight. The Blackhawks are back in St. Louis to take on the Blues. The sportsbooks have set the line at 5.5 goals. And yeah, Rodney, I think your reaction says it best, man. Like,
freaking
what terrible. Are we doing here? Blues can't stop a nosebleed. Like, Blackhawks aren't a great defensive team. I think the last time that these two teams played was in St. Louis, and it was something like a 7-2 game.
Yeah,
it was ugly. So I'm just gonna go back to the well here, and like it could be like 5-3, 5-4, like, but 5.5 seems criminally low. So I'm going with an NHL over here.
Every time we talk about the Blues, I always not necessarily complaining, but I always comment about the fact that the Blues play what I feel like a shitload of back-to-backs. Tonight's a back-to-back.
It's another back-to-back, right? So they're going to be gassed.
They gave up 7 goals last night in Nashville. Now they get to fly back to St. Louis and throw Joel Hofer in net, who's 4-6-2 on the season, giving up 3.18 goals a game.
Want to point out that Jordan Binghamton is playing his way off of Team Canada. Before the season started, he was by far and away the guy to start for Team Canada in the Winter Olympics. And now I bet Canada's like, do we even want him to go to Italy with us? Like, do we even want him on the team? I don't know. Surely we got to find another Canadian goalie somewhere, right? Because, God, he's been awful.
Yeah, and he's and from a lot of accounts, he's a grade A asshole too. So good luck bringing him to Italy with you and not playing him. That'll go well for you. But Blues bad, man. They're bad. They are they're 11-14-7 ties already. Blackhawks 13-11-6. I like your bet. Good work on that one. Yeah. All right, I'm going to go back to the well for the NFL game 2, and I'm going to take the Los Angeles Rams -5.5 over the Detroit Lions. Yes, it is Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions. Yes, the Lions need this one, but really the Rams kind of do too, because they would love to keep that top seed in the NFC. They would love to keep the top spot in the NFC West. I just think you get too much Los Angeles here. It's the Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff rematch of rematches. I like the Rams at home here. 5.5 might be a lot, but I think they can win by a touchdown. I'll take the Rams.
The total is 54.5 points for this game. And I could see the over. I don't want to bet it, because that's a big number, but that's gonna be a fun game. All right. I feel like I bet far too much on the Giants, but we are approaching the time of year, Rodney, where the Giants can potentially land themselves a number 1 overall pick, and it could either take a great player that's not a quarterback, because they don't need a quarterback, or they could trade it for a Caleb Williams-like haul. They would have options, but what I'm saying is this is the time of year where the Giants are like, hey, you know what's better than that? Culture wins. And what better way to start off the culture win era than coming off a bye, hosting Marcus Mariota and the Washington Commanders? So I think the Giants with Jackson Dart win this one by a field goal or more, and Mike Kafka gets his first win as interim head coach of the New York Football Giants. So congratulations, boys, on the great culture win. Enjoy picking 8th in the draft next year.
Right. Yeah, it would be total Giants move to win this one. Oh, the Commanders are bad though.
Oh, they're awful. They're awful. But Rodney, culture wins. I'm just gonna say the Giants have their next 3 weeks are the Commanders, the Vikings, and the Raiders. I'm just saying. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right there. All right, let's move to my next one. The Houston Texans are playing about as well as anybody in the NFL right now. They play Arizona. Arizona is not very good defensively. I know Houston has not been great offensively, but I think Stroud and the boys are picking it up a little bit. I'm not sure how many points Arizona scores, although they've been a great passing offense here in the last several weeks. But I just think Houston turns them over too much. I'm going to go Houston by 10 or more, and the Texans cover this one. I'll take Houston -9.5.
I like that one. All right. I did this one just for you, buddy. The Raiders are going to Philadelphia, a team that got rid of its what the positivity what was the thing they had in the locker room? The positivity something?
Oh, the positivity something. Yeah, you're right.
Some type of positivity animal that lasted for 4 days because their first game with it they lost to the Chargers. They're back at home. They should beat the Raiders. I think they will beat the Raiders, but will they do it dominantly, convincingly? No, I do not think so, because the Eagles haven't been dominating or convincing against anyone for a long time. So give me the Raiders plus 11.5 in a Kenny Pickett revenge game where even if the Raiders lose, even if the Eagles come out and get a must-win game for them, I don't think that Philadelphia fans are going to be like, all right, we're back. everything's back to normal. I think they're going to be like, oh God, this is not. I don't feel any better. So
Yeah.
give me the Raiders plus 11.5. And honestly, the fact that it's not 13.5, it's 11.5. Sportsbooks know. They know that the Eagles are not who you think they are still.
It was the Positivity Bunny. The rabbit.
That's right. Positivity Bunny. See you, Positivity Bunny.
Yeah, they ditched it. All right. When push comes to shove, take good teams over bad teams. This is in San Francisco, I believe, right?
Yeah, I was tempted for this one, and then I saw that you already put it in. This is a good one.
Yeah. If this is in San Francisco, Midwest going west. Bad team at a good team. Bad team came off a win last week. I don't see a lot of scenarios where Tennessee keeps this close. And San Francisco still has plenty to play for, obviously, including getting into the playoffs, but still in the picture in the NFC West with some winnable games coming up. I like San Francisco a lot here. I think the 49ers win big. Probably, honestly, my favorite of the four so far. I'll take the 49ers minus 12.5 in this one.
Yep. All right. Negative temperatures at Soldier Field means expect the unexpected. And honestly, Rodney, I had your voice in my head for this pick here on Tuesday where we were talking about this Browns-Bears game. You're like, is there any way that the Browns can win this game? Where Myles Garrett totally goes and just wreaks havoc. And honestly, like Myles Garrett is one of the few players on the defensive side of the ball that can single-handedly change the trajectory of a game. And we know that Bears' offensive line isn't great. If it was, Caleb Williams wouldn't have to be scrambled every single play. I think the Browns can make this close.
Yeah.
I think they can make this close in a game that's going to be so cold, it's going to be frigid. And like the Browns with Shador offensively have been okay. They've been okay. Bears coming off of a disappointing game against Green Bay, but like I think this will be close here. So I'm going to take the Browns plus 7.5 at Soldier Field.
Yeah, and it's not like the Bears have been blowing teams out anyway. They've been finding ways to win. Basically a 2-possession game seems like a lot here. I like the pick. All right, my last one. Yep. Chaos ensues in the NFC South. Not only do I think the Saints are going to cover this one, I'm going to say the Saints win this game straight up at home over the Carolina Panthers, because why not? Well,
it would be on brand.
New Orleans is playing better football. I mean, they've only won 3 games, but they're playing better. They beat Tampa last week in Tampa. I think they come home and they beat the Panthers, and then we got 7-7 Carolina. I'm going to take New Orleans plus 2.5 to win this one at home. So several 325 games here for me, but I'll take the Saints plus 2.5.
The Panthers have played the Saints previously, a few weeks ago, at home and lost 17-7.
Yeah, right. Like, NFC South is basically a crapshoot, and so I'll take the points here.
And the Panthers are one of those teams. Well, okay, we know that they're a much better home team than a road team. A.
Right.
B. I feel like the Panthers are one of those teams where, for whatever reason, they play much better against teams that they're underdogs against. Like they play up to their opponent and also play down to their opponent. And I feel like we've seen examples this year of the Panthers when they are favorite, when they're faced with they should win, they don't win. So yeah, I would not be surprised at all if the Saints end up winning this game outright. So I really like that pick. All right, my final one. I started with a point total. I'm going with a point total to close it out. The Packers and Broncos playing in Denver. So we've seen both offenses have pretty good performances this year, but neither one I would consider to be like, oh yeah, this is a great offense. Like, in fact, these are two of the better defenses in football. Yeah. So I think that we are going to see two defenses really hard at work. Like, Denver's got a top 5 defense. Jeff Hafley coaching Green Bay's defense on the other side. Like, he's at this point auditioning to become a head coach next year. So I see a low scoring game, something like a 20-17, like 21-17. That's the under. And we close it out with under 42.5 points in Denver.
All right. All right. Dan checked in with us today. Welcome back, Dan. Been a bit. I know you've been busy. Happy Friday, fellas. Go Vikings and go Panthers from Dan. All right. So a reminder, you are 38 and 37. I am 37 and 38 as we head into week 15 of the National Football League. All right. Let's get to our Mount Rushmores of 16. Joe Montana was number 16. I think he's probably going to head this list. I'm looking at the NFL. There's other guys.
Jared Goff, obviously.
Len Dawson.
Yeah,
they all were 16. But let's start with Joe Montana and go from there and spread the sports and see what we can do here. Joe Montana would be my NFL guy.
I think that's a great one. I was looking at hockey, and one that you should definitely remember, wore many years for your St. Louis Blues, Brett Hull.
Yeah, I would put him on.
Yeah, there's been a good number of NHL guys to wear 16. When I saw Pat LaFontaine, longtime Islander, Buffalo Sabre, Hall of Famer, he was number 16. Marcel Dion was 16. So like it's at a few, but I would say Brett Hull, unless Hockey Guy Dan is screaming at us because we're omitting someone. Bobby Clark was another one, longtime Flyer. But I'm gonna say Brett Hull gets the nod for NHL.
Okay. Yeah, so Joe Montana, Brett Hull, good start here.
Yeah.
I'll move to Major League Baseball.
Sorry, real quick. I forgot. Modern one, Alexander Barkov, now a two-time Stanley Cup champion too, is 16. But yeah, I'm still going to go Brett Hull.
Years down the road, we could consider Barkov to be in this one. But I'll go Major League Baseball, and kind of well past our time, but probably deserving here in a Hall of Fame career with the Yankees. Wore 16, Cy Young in 1961. Whitey Ford would be a good one. A little more modern would be a guy like Dwight Gooden, or 16. I think you got to consider Whitey Ford here, along with Joe Montana and Brett Hull.
I think Whitey Ford gets it, yeah, because really, so the top ones, according to MLB References WAR, is Ted Lyons, who played in the 30s and 40s, so no. Hal Newhouser, who played primarily in the 40s. Yeah, and then Whitey Ford, Dwight Gooden. You have Jason Giambi, who wore it for his 8 seasons with the Oakland A's. You have Frank Viola, Minnesota Twin, Boston Red Sox. But I think Whitey Ford is the guy here.
Yeah, let's do it. So Whitey Ford, Joe Montana, Brett Hull. Although Dan has a dispute possibly here. He says he might take Dion over Hull. Stop that one. It's Brett Hull. It's Brett Hull. This is my show, not yours, Dan. It's Brett Hull.
Yeah, I'm going to go Brett Hull. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Anything in the would be the National Basketball Association in the NBA that you like?
Yeah. So NBA, there's a couple guys. There aren't any legends, quote unquote, but I've always loved Pau Gasol.
Ooh, yeah.
And Pau Gasol is probably going to be one of the better players that you'll find who wore 16 for his entire career. Whether that was in Memphis, whether it was with the Lakers, whether it was with the Bulls or the Spurs. But that's like 18 years, all wearing the number 16. So Pau Gasol, Hall of Famer, I think is a really solid choice there. The only other NBA ones that I think are worth considering, Bob Lanier was number 16. Jerry Lucas was number 16. And then I think there was one more, Peja Stojakovic, who... Where's his son play now? It's like somewhere up in
Illinois.
Oh, in Illinois. That's right. Yeah, that's right. I was like, I knew that we were just talking about him. But I would say Pau Gasol would be my pick for the NBA.
Yeah, so I think that list is pretty good. It's Joe Montana, it's Brett Hull, it's Pau Gasol, and it is Whitey Ford.
Whitey Ford.
Good enough for me. There's your 16s. There's your 16s. So we'll wrap that up at 16. And so let's see here. We got 17 coming up on Tuesday, and that can go ahead and get me to our announcement here real quick. So new programming time for 2026, plus Next week's our last 2 shows of 2025. We will do Tuesday night. We will do Friday morning, and then we have we got a 2-week bye week over Christmas and New Year's. When we come back in New Year's, our new programming time, we'll stay on Tuesday night. So our first show back will be Tuesday, January 6th, 9 p.m. Central Time. But we are going to move our Friday morning show to Thursday evening at 9 p.m. So no more Friday morning shows. We can put that up. You can listen to our show Friday morning after we do it live on Thursday night. But we are going to move to Thursday night. Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Thursday night, 9 p.m. for the 2026 year. We'll see how that goes. Some of you may like it. Some of you may not. But that's what we're going to be able to do. So hopefully you can join us Thursday evenings.
2 put the kids to bed episodes instead of 1.
Yes, in 1 week. So that is our programming note. So we'll be back next week for 2 shows, but after that we'll start taking a little time off, and then we will redo the schedule in 2026. When podcasters need load management?
It's a good question. It's a good question.
It's grueling. It's been grueling. But anyway, follow us on Twitter, not X, at Stupid Sports Show, no W on the end. And make sure you sign up for our Substack. There's no QR code.
Oh, my God. This whole time. I'm so sorry. All right.
There it is.
QR code. I have it on that side. Dan, is it on my side or is it in Rodney's side? I'm convinced it's on my side. For whatever reason, this whole time he's seen us on opposite sides. Yeah. So let us know. You'll give us the final verdict there. But yeah, sign up for Rodney's Substack. He is sending out free picks every single day. So you scan that, you subscribe, you'll get his picks, you'll win money. You will secure generational wealth for your family, your children, your children's children, and so on. And real quick, no way. So it's over there. Oh, boo, boo. Stupid. All right. And then all 116 episodes of the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth will be Spotify, Apple, iHeart, anywhere you get your podcasts. Make sure to like and subscribe. You'll get notified whenever new episodes drop. And in case, and that'll come in handy, as you said, in case you're unable to listen to the Thursday show and you want to listen Friday morning instead, if that's become your routine, it'll be there Friday morning, so you can listen and enjoy it that way. But that about does it. Oh, okay. So Dan is just on drugs, is what I'm getting at. It's. So we can't trust him. I thought he was our reliable witness, and it turns out it's all nonsense. Okay, good. All right, let's get out of here. He's Rodney. I'm Tim all day Van Stratton. Have a good weekend. Stay warm. Watch football. Don't go outside. We'll be back Tuesday night, 9 p.m. for another edition of the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth. But until then, everyone, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next time. See ya. Step right up, dummies, and listen to the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth with Rodney Newpol and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah.